Hi everyone, welcome back to Summer Lane Zoo. My name is Tyler and today we are working on the fourth habitat for the zoo in the tropical section, and that is for the sun bear, one of my favorite animals in the game, but one of the animals I have not built too many habitats for. I think I've only built one, maybe two habitats for, so this is long overdue. And yeah, I hope you liked that little preview of the end result. I thought it would be best to start midway through since the external walls of the habitat are really similar to the other habitats I've built in this zoo. It's really similar to the warthog, babirusa, and red river hog with the mud walls and similar colored rocks, so I thought it would just be easier to show off the details and my favorite elements of the zoo. With the plants and all of that. So really pleased with how this habitat turned out, and I'm excited for you to see. But I will say it was quite a challenge just because the dense rocks and all the plants that I placed down, it kept interrupting the traversable area for the bears, and so I had to really fine-tune over and over and over, and I cut out a lot of that just because it was such a pain, but it turned out and it was worth it in the end. These were added back in the Southeast Asia animal pack a few years ago, and they are a really cool bear species. If you're not familiar with these, they are found in Southeast Asia, and they're actually the smallest bear in the world, which I did not know. They have really long tongues, up to 10 inches long, and at the end of the video there's a short clip that shows off the sun bear in the habitat licking its claws, and you can get a really good look at that. And with the claws and their long tongues, they are fond of eating termites and honey, so they put those to good use. They are found primarily in tropical forests, but also swampy environments. And they are also named, they get their name sun bear because they have a pale yellow marking on their chest. So that's how they get their name, but despite being called the sun bear, they're actually primarily active at night, predominantly nocturnal, and so that's when they're most active. I really like building for these and adding more kind of rare, unusual animals to my zoo. Those are the ones I typically go for. Like always, added lots of dense plants and plant coverings here. I did do a quick Google search and doing some research on what sun bear enclosures typically look like, and I wasn't pleased with the results. A lot of the enclosures they have lots of climbing structures and logs for them, which I'm sure the sun bears like, but they just don't look very pretty. So I thought to keep it consistent with my normal style and add lots of plants. And I do end up adding a few logs that resemble what would be found if you were to just do a quick search for their habitats that are in different zoos. But I prefer adding lots of plants, so I'm glad I went that route. But they are avid climbers, and they do have a really unique enrichment piece, which you can see kind of in the center of the habitat, that climbing structure. I think they call it like the hammock. I think the sun bear and the clouded leopard are the only two animals in game that use that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when there's a unique enrichment like that, I have to incorporate it into the enclosure. But here, going in with all my favorite plants, and I ended up using quite a few ferns from the tropical pack and also a few of the new plants from the Oceania pack. I'm not going to even try to pronounce their names because they're really challenging, but they get added to the rock formations on the outside of the habitat, as well as the shade structure where the guests can view the sun bears. Which, speaking of the shade structure, it really was quite a challenge for me. I didn't size it properly, and I ended up cutting out a lot of the footage just because you don't need to see me having a challenge with that for far too long. So you'll see the end result, and I'm happy with it, but it did take a lot longer, and I didn't size it correctly. But I did add some of the new Oceania plants to that as well. So overall, I'm really happy to be also including the new Oceania pieces. Even though I'm trying to keep kind of a modern feel to the zoo, I thought it would be fitting in this section. And And now that the tropical section is starting to get built out, I thought I'd share a few future plans and future species that are going to get added to this section of the zoo. I've gotten a few requests already, so I'm going to be adding lemurs to the zoo. I'm not sure which types. I could go for all three, the ring-tailed, the red-ruffled, and the black and white, or I might just pick one or two, who knows. I'm really considering the Komodo dragon for a next build. I think it would be cool to add something like that and add more of a enclosed habitat with less or potentially no open space at all. Those are the most challenging habitats to build, but I like a challenge, and I think they'd be a cool addition. The other animal I'm considering already is the Indian elephant. They are so popular, and they have so many unique enrichment pieces that they can use, so they're going to be included in the zoo at some point, but not sure if they'll be next or not. But the tropical section is turning out to be just how I planned, and I'm really excited for future episodes. If you have any animal requests, please drop me a comment or send me a message on Instagram, and I will take that into consideration. And if you like this speed build, consider subscribing and also following me on Instagram. I post updates there whenever a new video comes out, as well as additional screenshots. And yeah, I'm excited to continue building this zoo, and hopefully I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.